Welcome back to The Experience, everyone. Today, my guest is a comedian, actor, musician, DJ, disc jockey, well, used to be. And he's an all-around good guy and a TikTok influencer, my buddy Jude Blued. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Face it, you got no clue.
No,
Because I don't.
There's so many different things, man. Thank you for coming on the show today. We've been talking a lot, and you got a lot to say for people that don't know you, which is a lot.
Shit pile of those that don't know me. Huh?
Yes, sir.
A lot of them are glad, brother.
Why Jude Blued? Because I know we talked earlier. You got a lot of names, or you had a lot of names. Why?
Yeah. It just came to me out of the blue. It's natural, by the way.
Oh, yeah? It looks natural.
I have no idea, y'all. It's the same reason the whole thing happened when the COVID mask thing came along. You know? Okay. My cousin got a vaccination and his ears fell off, so he doesn't have to wear the mask anymore. Oh, right, but it gave him diarrhea. He's got to wear a diaper. So that's worse than that was. Should have stuck with the mask, you know. At least it's easier to wipe your mouth than it is your caramba.
Holy shit.
But where was I?
You
the blue
too.
thing. All right, so everything just looks so effed up, screwed up as it is, you know, because they're eventually gradually indoctrinating all us into a reality of bullshit anyway. Right. Now they're telling us, well, the world's not round. We was bullshitting. It's flat. Right. They're on there. There were, for years, how long have they been telling us?
Where'd you get the blue from?
The blue, it just came to me. I have no idea.
I thought you told me it was like
it could have been a different color. Why it was that particular color? The only thing I can tell you is my mother hated blue. Maybe that tells you something. Yeah. Psychologically, Dr. Freud's going, oh, he hated his mother. That's right. She liked yellow.
What was her favorite color?
I have no idea.
No shit.
I try not to talk and ask her about colors and stuff.
Right, yeah, probably.
Well, I stopped at blue.
Nice.
But if blue's supposed to mean, by the way, theoretically, when you used to do comedy back in the 50s and 60s, when like Lenny Bruce would get thrown on the ground for using the F word, okay, for pretending happening. Well, they call that blue comedy because it was. I don't know why. It's like the blue plate special, and we got blue comedy. And guess what? The guy in the back just got blue.
No shit.
But that's when I started looking at the comedian thing because I knew I was full of shit, but I didn't know exactly what to do with the shit. When I found out that I was full of it, I wanted to share my shit with everybody else, like everybody does. You know? Yeah. But then you got to have a purpose and direction. Bullshit. You know, look at the government. They got no direction or purpose except to screw us all. Huh?
Right.
So anyway, I wanted to do something. In kindergarten, we need a clown. So my mother pushed me out of line. I was a clown. And ever since then, I've been a clown. In the first grade, they asked, I never raised my hand in school, but they said, does anybody have one of the fire trucks that you pedal? I said, yeah. Raised my hand. Next thing you know, I'm going to play the $64,000 question. All right? And it's my fire truck wrapped in tinfoil. First through sixth grade on both sides of the auditorium. This is Perth Amboy, New Jersey. If you believe, shut up.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, it's Hopalong School number 10, outside of Forward, New Jersey. Anyway, they announced the $64,000 question. It was a game show back then.
Okay.
And at the end of the thing, the winner is a 57 Cadillac. And I come from the back of the auditorium, pedaled through the crowd. And I got what I know now to be an adrenaline rush. It wasn't an orgasm yet. It's the same thing. Right. You just got to think more with the first one.
Nice.
And try harder with the latter. But anyway, that adrenaline rush is what I spent the rest of my life chasing. What the hell was that? You know? I didn't take anything, smoke anything. First, second grade.
No
Kindergarten
shit.
was the first grade with the pedal car thing.
Oh, shit.
So, but before, I started studying electricity then. That fascinated the hell out of me.
Right.
The electron and the proton and the neutron and the revolution and the blah, 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 and then the earth and the moon and the stars, there's a similarity there.
Right.
And I got really interested. I could read the color code when I was in fourth, fifth grade, which is a way they read resistance and measure stuff. I built a Hartley coal-flat oscillator. What's that? Nobody knows. But from memory, and I thought because I was real smart.
Right.
But as I told you earlier, something at the fifth grade I wasn't supposed to be able to do shit like that. But I was, what I'm trying to say is I've been subliminally guided by something all of my life. Whatever it is does not like inconvenience. It does not like stupidity. It doesn't and it's real intolerant of a lot of shit. And it's inside of me somewhere. It's not a person. It's just a voice. No, it's not a voice. Yes, it is. Right. Sometimes it's just a voice. Sometimes it's never a person, you know. But because then they can get you. My doctor said, do you hear voices? I didn't answer him. Let him figure it out. He's got the MD, and he took that hypocritical oath, which is what it turned out to be. I told you they was full of shit with the mask. You know what I mean?
So So, question. Didn't mean to cut you off. So you think you have multiple personalities? Because I know we talked about
I don't have shit.
It's just it's
just a voice that comes out. The only time I hear it is when everybody else does, or when I'm alone.
And you've been feeling that since first grade?
Oh no, that's what I mean. The realization that that's what was happening is just going on right now.
Gotcha.
As a kid, again, I thought like I wanted to get into they were doing some kind of a class trip. I wanted to get in there. Right. And I could read the teacher. I knew the teachers that liked me and the ones that didn't. And I knew I wanted to go on this class trip. I knew the teacher was watching me make, you fill out your name and throw it in the box and they pick your name up. Well, I used a big old piece of construction paper and wrote my name on a crayon. Right. It was the biggest thing in the box, and I knew the teacher was going to pick it for a couple of reasons. Number one, she liked me. Number two, it was the biggest one in the box. So I went on the trip. But how did I figure that out?
I don't know, man.
I know. So anyway, I was having a good time studying the atom until Eve came along. And it was like, well, fuck the atom now. And the Eve too, never mind.
So you're from Jersey?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
All right. When did you move here?
I don't know. I was 11 when I came down here the first time to live with Grandma.
Gotcha.
And then I was in the 7th grade in New Jersey. So sometime in between something happened. I know I went to New Jersey to go to beautician school. I told you I wanted to be a hairdresser.
We're talking about that.
Had no desire to be a hairdresser, but whose hair do you cut? Chicks.
Yeah, you were
So that's why I wanted this was before puberty.
Gotcha.
You remember the song, Someone's in the Kitchen with Dinah? I didn't know what they were doing, but I know I wanted to be in that kitchen. And it wasn't with Billy Bob up and down, my gay country cousin. It was Dinah. After puberty, it's like...
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's wild.
Remember, boys and girls, there's more to life than an orgasm, you know?
That's it.
But none of it starts with sex. Or you could look at the other way.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? I write for porno movies. Want to hear some of my stuff?
Yeah.
Fuck me now.
Dude, that's wild.
It's always an immediate thing. Nobody ever goes, well, fuck me tomorrow. It's always got to be now.
Yeah.
And don't
not always. Sometimes it's later in the day.
Yeah, ladies, if you meet a guy, don't twerk and he's old, you know, because it's hard enough to tell what's moving as it is.
Right. So what got you in being a disc jockey? How old were you when you started that career?
The fear of dying.
You had a few careers.
The fear of dying, coming home from catechism, which sounds catastrophic, doesn't it? Where you go to catechism? Holy water tastes like fingernails. But the nuns traumatized me because they thought I gave a shit, you know? Oh, you're not going to learn. You're not going to meet Jesus. I don't want to meet anybody, especially you two people. You're dressed terribly. You know, you have a bunch of questions. Let me tell you later about my plan to tell a priest that I'm having an affair with another priest on confession. See if I can start some shit. But anyway.
Back to the DJ.
Yeah, back to
ADHD.
I'm hiding the fact that I'm afraid of dying as a kid, basically, and I found a radio in the bushes and it drowned out the fear of dying. I listened to Cousin Brucey and WNBC and WABC, and Weatherman says hi in the 60s, and yes, I was. Might be right now, you never know. It's partly cloudy. No, it's never been completely cloudy, but that's what inspired me to want to be the guy that I heard the voice of.
Gotcha. So you became a radio personality as far as like a disc jockey?
In other words, disc jockey is like you could have absolutely zero personality and be a disc jockey because all you listen to the stations on the air today. They've been on the air since the beginning. They got to say, we got to get the lead out. That's so fucking unoriginal. But it's the same thing. They read reader cards. Not their fault. It's the job to the factory and all the time. You got to do this, but I got to do.
Unlike over here.
Yeah.
Where we just
you can say any fucking thing that you want to say. But I'm working for WLSD right now. Could be anywhere on the radio now. Could be over there, could be over here, could be over here. They're at the same time.
Yeah,
you can win a free trip, never leave your room.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty about doing podcasting is you can kind of do whatever you want for the most part. I think it's kind of like a freedom of speech for the most part. Yeah. I mean, some people are getting canceled. Hopefully we don't.
Well, what am I doing with the TikTok? I thought they were podcasts. You know, those are just little videos.
No, so you would kind of create your little podcast like in here, and then you just kind of put it on TikTok as a short clip. And so basically people are seeing your reels, I guess you would say.
There is. What about my make-believes?
I don't know.
So how long be shorts?
How long did you do the disc jockey?
Oh, the 60-something, KFNV and Faraday. That's where Jerry Lee Lewis, Jimmy Swaggart, Howard K. Smith, and Mickey Gilley all come from that little town. Just coincidentally sent out, ready for this, boys and girls, a tape on a reel that I made. I can't remember where, but it was just my voice, and I sounded terrible. But the guy called me, and I worked there for like a year. I met Jerry Lee's cousin, Jimmy Swaggart. On Sunday, I'd open his program up and then go to sleep, and then it fell apart, like Bob Dylan says. One day the axe just fell. Well, it fell, and I wound up going back to New Orleans, and I got a good job for Walker Romer driving a milk truck, helped me with my delivery, But I wound up hating everybody that drank milk, cows, and orange juice. Well, I was miserable doing that because it's not what I am. I was made to. Then I got another job from WLOX in Biloxi. There, I thought I died and went to heaven. My first wife and I went there, and then the marriage fell apart.
Right. First wife. How many have you had?
Huh?
How many have you had?
3. Okay. So far. I mean,
so this is wife.
Is it over?
Yeah. To be continued. Stay tuned.
No. Not again. No. Step back in time. Hell no. But who was counting?
Right.
It was one at a time. They're human beings. They're somebody's daughter. You got to be nice to them. They'll tell on you. Never marry somebody based on what they were wearing when you met them, because they change.
Right. Like every day.
Just about every moment.
Yeah.
But
sometimes.
This one's a lovely woman.
So disc jockey to that point in Biloxi at that radio station. Then what?
Then it gets pinky because I was working in the radio, and a person come in. They wanted to see the DJ, and I said, "For what?" There's this club. It was called the Fiesta. It was the most popular club on the Gulf Coast. And above it, these guys, Frank Falcone, sounds good, huh? And another guy. They opened what they called a Kiko Simba. It was spiral stairs that went up to the top of the Fiesta Club.
Right.
And it was a key club. You go there with your girlfriend, 1 o'clock in the morning. I got a key. So it took off like wildfire. But they brought me in there, and they wanted to show. They said, "We want you to work for us." I thought they wanted me to write commercials because I was really good at making up bullshit. You might have noticed.
Nice.
But waste is a terrible thing of mine.
Yeah, they had other things in mind.
But they wanted me to play records. They showed me 2 turntables and a big speaker with all the speakers in it, a big cabinet, and a Radio Shack mixer. Said, "We want you to play records in this nightclub." And these people are assholes. They said they're doing it in California. Yeah, they're putting amps up their ass too. In California, just because they're doing that, we don't have to do that. Right. And they had decoupaged boobs from Playboy and all of that back before this advanced pornography crap they got today.
So it was like nice little lounge.
Yeah, it was the biggest thing because all of the I thought were nice young ladies that danced, were strippers and hookers. They went there when they got off of work. Gotcha. All the bartenders went there when they got off of work.
Gotcha.
And I liked to smoke weed back then.
Nice.
But they wouldn't let me leave the DJ booth, so they put a fan above. So they accommodated me. And I'm nuts, so that's pretty good. And all I was doing was spinning records when you get back to the personality thing. But I injected a little more there because I was mostly loaded.
Nice.
But when it became more or less where I could project what it was I felt or believed in is when I started with the talk radio. That would have been if anybody here remembers Larry Reagan and the Dawn Busters and WTIX and SMB. They started Nut and Jeff and Keith Rush and all these people together. They basically started talk radio here through Larry Reagan. You say tomato, I say ketchup. And they had people that had like Mardi Gras Frank, the Flamin' Liberal. You got in there, didn't you, dog? All kind of different CB Handle type names. But Larry, remember this? And they'd reminisce, and the phones lit up like crazy. And I co-hosted the show with him for about a year, and then he died. Right? Oh, wow. So now I got all these people following him and me, but he's dead, so they following me.
Nice.
And I got up to 500 and something followers on WTIX. And the guy that I worked for, Ed Butler, he was up there in his years, and he was not as successful as he wanted to be or should have been. He was a real smart guy. He was on the Warren Commission. He wasn't on it, but he was a consultant on the Warren Commission. He interviewed Lee Harvey Oswald off camera, and he was who I worked for. But he liked me, loved me like everybody likes me and loved me, but then they grow to hate me, because I got a deal to get a car as a trade-in from Brian Chevrolet, and he blew the deal, so I called him all kind of MFers, wished him a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I lost a gig.
Right.
And I was never able to get those people back again. I've got tapes of about a week of people trying to get on and do other talk shows because I wasn't there no more. They couldn't do it. So I was able to do what I wanted to do, reach people with what I wanted to reach them with.
Yeah.
But there was still that filter,
Correct.
Now there's no filter, and the people are different, But I'm still, when I get ready to come out with this, whatever it is that you call it, I know a lot of people got enough faith in me to know I'm not bullshitting, because I've already told you I'm full of bullshit. You know?
Right,
but
right.
I think all of us have something that is guiding us. Some of it's so subliminal. Some of us may never find out what it is. But getting back to music, never tried to play anything but records because you can get chicks by playing records. At the time you're playing bowling and a horn, you could have been. But
can I touch on that a little
sure.
bit? So you feel like everybody's got like a certain energy or like a certain gift?
Yeah. Everybody. They just, some of them are too stupid to realize it, too bored. Some people are diagnosed with something, and they accept it because they don't want to be here anymore, subliminally. Because
Gotcha.
I definitely think we're going somewhere else. People are going, yeah, we know he's going, the wagon's back there. But there's something after this, got to be.
Right.
Now they're saying it's not, I don't give a shit what they call it. You know? It's like I don't want to go to the moon because there's nothing there for us.
Oh, yeah?
If we were on the moon right now, would it be doing you or me any good? Not a bit of it. The only people that's doing any good are the ones that want to annihilate us, and they want to rest on the moon while we fry here, you know? And when the smoke goes down, they're going to come back and eat the ashes, I think.
Oh, shit.
Because there's some evil crap going on in the world today.
You think they got like some hotels up there already and shit?
No, I really, for theoretically, think that they were there, and whatever was there when they got there scared to be shit out of them and said, look, don't fucking come back.
Right.
Don't tell them what you saw. They ain't going to believe anybody. Don't ever come back here.
That's it, man.
Stupid-ass humans. If they're intelligent beings, they're not going to come here and take our women, are they?
Right, yeah.
Well, with a little about that. But,
They might.
I told you about the green ones were set here for us to eat, you know?
Yeah, for
Your
sure.
mom always said, eat your greens. They set them in a saucer. What more do you want? But where were we?
Getting back to the disc jockey stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, capping off on that.
Yeah, you were able to let people know how you felt about it. And I listened to some of, they're all on Jude Blued 100, the audio shows, a bunch of them, radio shows, and some of all of that stuff's on YouTube that nobody looks at, you know. But they...
We'll get your handle out there.
All right, the handle. I say, breaker.
Not your handler.
Breaker. What I was going to tell you, it was so different back then.
Yeah,
In
for
other
sure.
words, you had to call people on the phone, but I had 500 and something numbered yats, they called it.
Was that a lot back then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's hard to tell ratings here because there is none for AM talk, number one. FM, other than urban, are the top three.
Yeah.
The ratings, the rest of them are so skewed and diluted that it's hard to judge. And that's how you sell advertising. That's why it's so hard to sell
For sure,
advertising. Even though everybody knows, everybody listens. To me, I find radio a little bit more... it's not cost effective enough. You got to spend a lot more on radio to get something like on the internet. Everything I've done so far, I've done for nothing,
Right.
you know, other than the iPad, iPhone, the two ISs, but you see what I mean? It's already done.
This gives you a different platform and multiple streams of income. There's actually like a lot of avenues to make money from podcasting, depending on if people are watching it. So.
There's a lot of avenues in the French Quarter you make money too.
Oh shit! Speaking of
you don't
French
have to get in
Quarter,
the pod.
speaking of French Quarters, so you play music or like what's up with the musicians?
Well, the
stuff?
music, I'm told to get a saxophone. I get a saxophone. It tells me to get a
Who told you to
trumpet,
get
right?
that?
I don't know. There wasn't a voice.
Okay.
It wasn't a voice.
Is it
You've
human?
been told things before without a voice, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I got the saxophone, and it told me. I definitely saw it tell me, get a trumpet.
Okay.
And the trumpet is like some sort of magic that I can't explain. I've never touched anything like it before. Never had a desire to. In fact, I tried the harmonica and couldn't get anything out of it. You know? Now all of a sudden, the songs are coming out of this thing, and they are coming from the same place that most of the other bullshit all of my life has come from. This thing, whatever it is, that's making me do whatever I do. You
So
know?
is it you physically playing the trumpet, or do you feel like something's taking over? When
Oh,
you
it's
play
me
it?
blowing the air into it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you're the vessel.
As far as who's moving the fingers, I don't
So
know.
you don't feel like you have control on your fingers when you do that?
Right. Check this. When I first started doing the the TikTok thing, I did a couple of videos with nothing but my hands going like this. I had no idea why. There's 5 videos that I have no idea why the hell I did it or if I did it. But I did one movement. Now, a year later, right, all of a sudden after I'm told to get a saxophone, what am I doing with my fingers, right? So there's another one, too, where I dance, but I ain't dancing no more.
Yeah.
But something is causing me to do these things. It's real subliminal, real harmless. That's the good thing.
Right.
It's real,
That's
like
great.
everybody with the blue hair. Oh, we like your hair. It's natural. Right. But it's like it's a conversation, whatever they call it. But I thought by now I'd have some cowboys wanting to kick my ass. Everybody likes it, you know.
Well, how long have you been having the blue hair?
About a year, I guess.
When did you go blue? A year
about
ago?
A year, I guess. I'd have to look back and see, but it's all in the dark, you know,
Is
except
that
for the blue.
How long have you had Jude Blued? Is that name?
It's the same thing. It's all happened at once. Overnight. What are you, Jude Blued?
So somebody picked you. So you've been hearing the voices just by a year or just a long time?
The voices that, I mean, get it right now, not the voices that I hear. I don't hear them till somebody else hears them when they come out of my mouth.
Gotcha.
I never know what it's going to be. Sometimes it finishes my sentence, you know, it's not about you stupid. But it finishes them funnier sometimes, okay?
Sure.
I was trying to think of what is
that where the comedy comes in? Like how long have you been doing comedy?
That, I guess, since I've always sucked at it because I got to do more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time because I have no memory because I'm burned out from LSD, NDA, by the way. Right. But now that I've got the horn, number one, if I run out of stuff to say, pick up the horn. So far, have I used the horn yet? No.
Not yet. We'll get you to bust it out a little bit. Do you take the horn on when you do comedy skits? Or
I haven't done that yet. No, the last one I did was at Howlin' Wolf in the French and out CBD. Yeah, and
I've been wanting to bring it there. How is it like doing a stand up? I've been thinking about getting into it.
Well,
been wanting to give it a
the way
shot.
I got over stage fright is to never get off stage, right?
Oh,
so I'm always full of shit. Well, I'm up here over there, so I can talk for 10 minutes about how it was being over here when I'm up there. When I'm up there, I can talk about how it felt when I was down there.
Right.
So that's always been a blessing. But running out and disappointing, I don't want to disappoint. And the radio, keep the needle moving. Keep the needle moving. This, you can stop the needle and wait. But get this, the first probably 10 years that I did it, I never paid attention to the audience whatsoever.
No shit.
I just did, and it worked, you know.
Yeah.
But when I learned if you stop, they'll laugh. So I'm learning a little more about timing and paying attention to other people.
Like, how do you write bits? Because I know a lot of comedians, like Joe Rogan, always talks about how he writes bits. Like, do you?
It just the same thing comes from who the hell knows.
Oh wow! So you don't even write shit down.
I guess I thought it was me.
Oh yeah.
Because I was smart, but wherever the hell it's coming from, funnier than me, and it finishes a lot of stuff. But what the hell is the latest thing with the tucking thing? That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I was in Target shopping, and I'm all tuckered out. But this one guy that did a video that went crazy over the fact that they had nothing to do with World War II memorabilia at this Target store, but they had all this other stuff, you know. Well, my idea was to go try some of it on, and somebody beat me to it. But the reason that we never heard about this transgender stuff so much in the past is because they used to keep it between themselves.
Oh shit.
You gotta think about it, Eric.
Hey, dude.
Where were we?
Yeah, it's what's the word I'm trying to think of right now? Witty.
Witty. Okay. Rhymes with city, but being old has an advantage. I'll tell you. I found mostly 74.
Oh shit! I thought you were 72.
No, I'm over the speed limit. I was 72, but that was 2 years ago.
Well, you can get a couple miles extra.
Oh yeah, I
think you're allowed to go 5 out over.
They're just really slow miles, you know.
So are you doing stand up like to date besides your TikTok page?
Not really. The next time I do it, I'm going to control the room. I'm going to either rent the place like Ellen did to start, or something like that. Because when you got 5 minutes and you have 14 people before you, and with my brain, I listened to 14 things that threw me off course with what I was going to say.
No shit.
So I need to be the only one. So I might start opening for Beth because hello, Dolly, this is Louis. I could also do some music.
You just kind of want to be the star of the show.
Not really.
No?
My wife said that. You just want to be the center of attention. I said no.
Well, you just said
I just don't want to be ignored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's 15 people and everybody's getting 5 minutes, I mean, that's like.
Fair. On that perspective, yeah. Because it
fucks with your head if you're listening to all the other stuff.
Over and over.
What if you went first?
I avoid it. You know?
What if you went first?
Well, that usually works. As long as somebody
I'm trying to give you options, man.
But, if I went first, or if I MC, real good at MCing.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you got the other comedians, you know.
Oh, gotcha.
You got to introduce them, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, if I try it soon, I mean, even if I
I'll help you.
Even if I bomb. Yeah. I'm still going to just crack a joke about myself and people will probably laugh. So at least they're still laughing.
I took this stand-up comedy course at UNO. But I saw
I thought it was a real degree.
Huh?
I thought it was a real degree at first.
I know. It was funny, huh? But they wouldn't stand up in court, though. I saw like 3 people that wanted to do the same thing, and when they went there, they went up there like you said, I'm going to talk about myself, and they got laughs, and they were funny. When they try to fine tune it and all of that, it f's it up.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done the same thing 2 times in a row as far as sequence of bits or whatever you want to call them. Like if somebody says radio, work for WIFE, wife radio. Nothing's on, but you just got to act like you're listening. Or WAID, age radio. We're not going to be here long.
I never knew that comedians even wrote bits until Joe Rogan started talking about it.
Or they have routines.
Correct.
I don't have a routine.
Well, because some of these guys are on stage for an hour, so it's like that's a lot of fucking material to remember and like nail it.
But they can do it. I could never.
But they always say like, let's just say they were in one city. They might finish it differently in another city.
Oh, yeah. You got to adapt to the audience. That's what Ellen, I learned from her, adapt to your audience. My idea was to get up there and do as little time as I could so I could go back down and meet chicks.
Gotcha.
I had no desire to be, and I had no inkling that you could make money doing it.
Oh,
right?
wow.
You could if you'd got on Johnny Carson or something like that.
Right.
But I had no desire to, again, I just wanted to meet chicks.
It's fucking huge now, man. I mean, to be a comedian right now is probably like one of the coolest jobs, I guess. And one of the, if you're like the top dog.
There's a message that needs to be gotten out. And I hope to be able to get it out. If I got to act like I'm funny and goofy and clowny until I get to there, fine. But something is good's going to happen for all of us. I don't know what the hell it is. A lot of us going to get fucked, but something's going to happen for a lot of us good. It's got a lot to do with a lot of everything, but mainly look at old history books. Old encyclopedias from the 60s, and then get the same subject and look at it from the 90s, and you won't see anything that's true on this end of it. It's just they've been hiding technology secrets and fuel secrets, and I don't talk too much about that because they'll get you.
Yeah.
But there's something there. Could you imagine if you didn't have to work your ass off every day just to keep your head above water? Right. We're supposed to. That's why I can't say God gave us whatever the hell put us here. My theory, one of them, I got a million, is that it was for us. Free energy, free food, do what you want to do, free spirit kind of thing. And then some assholes got a hold of information before anybody else and withheld it.
Right.
And there's so much crap. The Bible, half the stuff in the Bible is not there no more. We don't like this. We don't. It's like the amendment. I mean, the Constitution. They amended it because they couldn't steal, lie, cheat, and screw people with it the way it was. It was a perfect living document, and they killed it with their amendment bullshit and then their term limits. And I mean, how stupid are we? And guess what? I'm going to vote for him because he's going to make Louisiana better. If you can't even say, but we keep falling for the same thing. All we really all do is eat shit, screw, and die, if you think about it. Some of us do it on the golf course. Some of us do it in the ski slopes, But basically, did you eat today? Yeah, uh-huh. Did you screw today? Yeah, uh-huh. Did you shit today? Yeah. Are you dead? Uh-huh. But that's all we're going to do. Yeah. Some of us, it looks better with something. I got a nice car, but it could be a piece of shit that'd still be here.
Right.
Now, where was it?
Is that the message?
No, I don't know what the message. They haven't told me yet. I don't know, or it hasn't told me.
No. I thought. Okay, gotcha. Well, you let me know when you get that message. What got you into acting?
Acting, luck.
Luck.
I got in Runaway Jury. All right, they Runaway Jury. They just needed an old guy that looked like a policeman.
No shit.
And so I did nothing but sit around with.
You don't look like a cop.
Dylan McDermott on Royal Street, banging our heads on a wall, going, "When are they going to use us?" Finally, they did. I jumped out of a police car, and he's driving, and I cut a lock off the door, and I go in the building and point the gun all around. Gene Hackman says, "God damn, the police are here," and that was by seeing. Well, the cool part they didn't put in the outside, but the inside part of it. Anyway, that's a John Grissom movie, so that made me SAG qualified. That means if I paid the dues, which are a lot, but if I paid them, I would get paid scale, which is a lot. Gotcha. So, but I haven't paid the dues because I haven't got a part since that I needed to. But if I do get one, I qualify for that. So that's when I moved over and did Elvis TV, made-for-TV miniseries called Elvis.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Jonathan Rhys Meyers. And again, I'll tell you about the retrospect later, but that because I was with Runaway Jury, SAG qualified, made the scale payment. So it was quite a bit of money for one day where I said, "Hey, let's have a big hand for Elvis Presley." Yeah? That was it.
Dude, that's awesome.
But it's always been that thing that's guided me, has put me in these positions for whatever reason. I don't know, because I've been in the middle of some shit. If you look at some of these videos where I was doing television shows, I have no idea how all of this crap happened. Yeah. My original intent was to hide, watch the television. Well, when puberty hit, I only had one goal.
Right. Blast off.
It only lasted about forever.
Nice. Well, so since you've kind of like taken a step back from like acting and stuff like that, tell us about your TikTok. So like, I know that's like what you're heavily involved in right now. I know that's what like eventually.
Yeah, I just like to see, well, people think that because I see somebody hauling a piece of junk down the highway with a 15-foot ladder sticking out of the back could kill people. I said, look at this asshole. And most people want to see somebody say something like that because it's dangerous. People could kill themselves. But as far as how I really feel, I don't give a shit. It's just another, it's more theater to be able to project and attract. Because I've got, thank all of y'all, the 8-7 or whatever following now, thank goodness. I know they know that I'm going somewhere. I don't know where it is. But when I get there, I'm going to kick them all in the ass and tell them you suckered.
Right.
But for true, I've been saying that since the beginning.
Well, no, but that's what's cool about the internet now and like all the tech we have. Like you're the one man show on TikTok and you're presenting this, you know.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever you want. And that's cool.
But every day I lots of pretty girls. I like pretty girls. Right.
They got plenty of that on there. They got pretty much you could learn how to do anything on TikTok.
Yeah. I already know how to do everything. They got a lot of angry men, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, man.
I see, if you look at a video and you see like 2 people follow it or something, but you see somebody spilling their guts out, that's somebody that was so ticked off, scared, or whatever, they wanted to get something out. You know,
right?
That's why this podcast thing, this is great. This is you guys are gonna help me with this because all I could do is sit down and bullshit. You know, that's why I like the TikTok. Put the camera on. Hey, 15 seconds of bullshit. See ya. Well, look, I got TikTok.
We'll help you create your podcast. The pod. And you got a name for it yet, or you want to hold off on that? Yeah.
I don't think we should label things.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so
I don't know what the hell could you call it. I've already thought of Jude, just Jude, right here. I don't know what it could be.
Yeah, I think
item number 4 or 5 in aisle 7.
Yeah,
when they start coming out. But no, look, whatever's going on now, y'all get ready. Something's fixing to change. I don't think it's this intergalactic. That's all a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
Clouds. They had me with the clouds at first, but this military stuff.
Is the Earth flat?
I don't think so. I don't believe so. If so, what the hell we've been looking at through telescopes for years, you know? Yeah. I mean, I don't care if it's round, flat, whatever. The affect of most people is flat, so it kind of makes a flat world.
For sure.
But if it is flat, it's curved up the edge, so we don't have to worry. But like the homeless guy said to me, I said, do you know that I gave him $5 and I was about to pull off and I said, look, the light changed. I had to say something else. I said, do you know that Elon Musk has announced that we're going to go back to, we're going to go back to the moon. He gave me the $5 back and a sandwich. I wasn't even hungry because he was so fucking happy that his life was going to be so much better that now we're going to be on the moon. Because the moon's going to have, why are we going to go to the moon? Well, we're going to colonize it. We can't colonize Algiers. You know what I mean?
Right.
We can't colonize Japan and France is falling apart, but it'd be easier to colonize because there's no air, you know? Won't be any competition. But guess what, too? There's no water. Let's go. Come on. So in other words, we don't stay away from the moon. I don't think we've been there anyway. Fuck the moon.
Yeah. I mean, it gives us light. It has a lot of different scientific shit that I'm not even going to pretend I know. Yeah. Okay. So tell us about your TikTok videos, dude. Like, what kind of content are you creating for?
I've been a tour guide in the French Quarter in New Orleans for years for Gray Line, and so I know all the history, not all of it, but the history of the statues that ain't there no more. And what I'll do is just drive around, point out. Theoretically, in order to present a video, something has to be entertaining, informative, educational, or give you an enema. That's what it is. But so they all have that. In other words, I go and show them Jackson Square. It's not called that because of Michael Jackson, you know? Even though next door is the Moonwalk, you know? That was after Moon Landry. Moon's a good name for a politician, you know, because they showed his ass. He sure did. But don't get me started in politics. Both wings of the same bird's what it is.
We'll stay off of that tonight. You know, I'll let you describe.
Where were we? We went somewhere. Oh, yeah. So that's what mainly, but mostly just bullshit. If it's not somebody cutting somebody off or dropping shit on the highway, it would be somebody parking in a handicap parking space and detailing their car. That's one end of it. But that's Stupid Gooka. I forgot to tell you about that. Stupid Gooka wants to do all kind of stuff. Jude Blued kind of want to be mellow, you know, and give money to the homeless and peace and love. Listen to some of the songs from the 70s, you know, the Guess Who, you know, and we're going to live free on the land that they're going to be giving out. The Guess Who's living up in California, Canada right now, loaded more. They're giving us shit, you know. It's all that 60s stuff, man. Peace and love. Love was a way for a guy to get a shot at my girlfriend, you know. Free love.
Oh, shit, dude. That's wild.
Every time I get my shit together, it doesn't look like my shit anymore, so I don't know what to tell you.
Right. So how long have you had the TikTok channel?
I think about a year and a half.
A year?
Keep talking about time. I don't know.
What made you start it? Like a new outlet?
My daughter, she said, I got a bunch of videos on YouTube,
okay,
right? And it should to draw people there because they've been there for years. Nobody looked. They may as well be in a sock drawer, you know.
Okay.
But she said, well, why don't you get an internet presence? So I said, what's that? So I started doing a video. These guys that I brought from the airport to a hotel, I got to talking to them about how it sucked that we were putting a mask on. I wanted to be a ventriloquist at one time because everybody was wearing a mask. Nobody could see the lips moving. But
awesome.
I convinced them that the mask was a bad thing. They said they're going to California to campaign for me.
Nice.
That was when I brought them to the hotel. When I went to pick them up, they had a mask with X on it. They had a fingernail polish, and they said they was going to do the job. And some kind of way I posted that, and it turned into whatever. Well, the nails and the hairs, that algorithm, in other words, I always use these colors because that's part of what people will know that that's that asshole again, you know?
Well, it's your persona, right?
Persona, no, I don't shave anymore.
Nice.
No.
It's you, I guess.
It is, I guess, because that's what I've been, in other words, here you go. Every song probably I've ever heard more than twice. I got the lyrics up here and the melody up here in my head. Never played music or thought about music before, you know. But there's something has been developing itself within me. Not another person, because then they come and get you, you know.
Right.
But something has been, like, I can mimic just about anything.
I've noticed that
if I don't know the lyrics, I can fill in with something that nobody knows what it is. I can lip sync, what's that? The Japanese song.
You ever thought about going on that show, America's Got Talent?
No.
Nah.
Too many people, too scary.
Simon might tell you.
I'd probably tell Simon to kiss my ass.
He might be.
Yeah, watch the piece of shit.
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't take. I've been in these contests. I don't want to do contests anymore. I don't need the pressure. I just want to be able to.
Well, that's what's beautiful about TikTok and all the other platforms. You can just be yourself.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
What if you're an asshole? I asked that question to.
Everybody's an asshole.
Steve Allen at the Municipal Auditorium in the 60s. I went to with my first or second wife, and we went to the Steve Allen show, and everybody posted questions on a card, you know, and he pulled my question out. I had asked him, "What do you need to do to be a stand-up comic?" And I stood up, you know, and he says, "Well, first thing you got to do is learn how to stand up." And I stood up and I said, "Well, what's next?" But they blurted over me, you know. I didn't understand the game yet, but I had that mic for that period of time. That's pretty cool, you know.
That's awesome.
And then I wanted to see Cheech and Chong in Florida, all right, and we think we didn't step in it. But it was booked, so I saw a guy named Woody Woodbury. Woody Woodbury played the piano and told stupid jokes, wore a college hat and all. But I learned a lot of stuff about parodies from him. You know?
Okay.
He could take just about anything and make a parody of it. You know?
Wow.
That's what I did with I returned my gender.
Yeah.
Affect unknown, no such member, no such zone. But so that was something else that developed. You can't do nothing with any of the stuff. You couldn't up until now.
Correct.
Now look at all the things I can do. None of them are worth a shit, but it's always been like that.
Well, I mean, people are making money off of nothing.
I guess so. Yeah.
Basically.
Well, I guess money is nothing. If you look at
That's true.
Where the money's put, the gold, there's no gold there.
Yeah, we used to.
They've been bullshitting us so long.
My buddy Jeff actually got me a book called How Money Works. And, you know, it shows you, like, when money started up until now. And we used to, like, trade and barter because we didn't have money back then. Like, oh, you got some water? We have some eggs.
Another way
we'll
to
trade you. Yeah.
The oil, if you were walking on the earth and you tripped on an oil well and oil all squirted all over, that doesn't mean that all the oil on the earth belongs to you. But the way that it's set up now, that's the way it works. Okay.
Right. What if it goes past like 10 miles past your property and it's in like somebody else's yard?
All of these companies, if you the Rockefellers and all, some evil what do you call it? Technology hiding bastards, man.
Oh, shit.
There's something that works. There's cars that can run on water. Water's just hydrogen and oxygen. They separate the two. You got a hydrogen engine. But hey, it works. There's magnetic things you can.
Yeah, what were you telling me and Chris about the magnetic thing in the salon earlier?
Yeah, it's like, geez, this all been hidden from us.
Right.
You know, Why? Because we couldn't charge them for it.
Yeah. Well, how did you say like the magnet worked? I thought that was like pretty impressive.
The magnet basically, everybody sees the when you put the metal chips on that's what magnetic flux is. It's a forced acceleration through induced magnetic flux. In other words, you got something that's creates electricity will make these photons and electrons spin around in a circle eventually, or in liquid mercury. All of these things will create lift, which is another way to fly without wings, or the rocket ship stuff we're using now is crap, I think. They're spending so much energy and time and weight and all to get out of the atmosphere when you could do it with a magnet. I've seen things in these encyclopedias from the 60s where they had trains that levitated on magnets. Magnetic power is magic. If you take two things, try to stick them together, you can't. Right. What I'm starting to wonder about is what the hell's going on in that space in between. And what they're saying is it's another way to force, in other words, create voltage or movement by this magnet. The whole world is this big magnet. I used to be a chick magnet. Now I slide off the refrigerator.
Gravitational pull, huh?
That's it. It's too late now. You know what I mean?
You hear me? Gravitational pull, right?
There's more to life than sex, but none of it ends in an orgasm.
Yeah.
That's all you can say.
Yeah. You heard what I said about the gravitational pull?
What about it?
So, like, the Earth has a gravitational pull. That's how we stay on Earth, right? So what do you think's pushing us to stay here? Like, there's got to be if it's two magnets, right?
We're stuck here, I think is what it is.
Maybe something else is pushing us?
No, there's supposedly a way that like we could not only, in other words, we're supposed to be able to go out there and see what all this shit is, theoretically.
No shit. Yeah, but we wouldn't be able to breathe.
Well, we're not supposed to be able, we're not supposed to eat. That's my theory on why we have an ass, because they gave us a mouth and it started eating everything. Then we had to go. Yeah. So hence the mouth led to the ass.
Correct. What tell people?
Then we had the pee-pee.
Tell people your YouTube channel. That way, if they want to look up your videos,
you have to listen to their old radio shows. It's Jude Boy, Judeboy 100.
Nice.
But the old WTIX shows are on there. I don't think there's anything from B97, but any radio show I've ever done, if it's not on there, it's somewhere, when I pretend to, because I sound like the guy on the 6 o'clock news. Right. But I look like the guy
That's what I thought you were.
America's Most Wanted,
That's what I thought you were at
first. I was now.
Do you have, on your TikTok, do you have any followers that are like coloring their hair blue? Or do you have people like,
when I did the comedy thing at the Howlin' Wolf, there was a girl there that had dyed her skin blue and her hair blue. And there was another one called Blue Girl. Yeah, no, like a blue wig. The videos are there, but I don't know what that was about, right? Oh, shit. But I haven't seen any other blues. There's one girl in the quarter that I think they had blue blues. Hair. You could have blue hair but not be blue.
She had the blues, man. She had the blues. So are you going to start playing your trumpets or your saxophone like at your comedy skits?
I don't know, maybe. It's even like a fella like the Flatfoot Susie, or the Yas.
Yeah.
But I could say like Flatfoot Susie, and I could play a couple of those, but I have no idea what I'm going to do or when. Yeah. If somebody pays me, I'll do anything.
Okay.
But to a degree. Right. But, well, not for a degree, but to one. But
do you have any degrees?
No. Right. I barely got, I hated school.
Well, I mean, so when did you find out you were like really smart, like a genius?
I always thought that, I didn't know that's what it was, but I knew something was different. Did
they ever test you?
Yeah. In Perth Amboy, I wanted to go to beautician school so I could meet chicks.
But what's your IQ?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me. My daddy got a phone call, and they went to the school. They said what the hell do you want to be a hairdresser for? My daddy said, we ain't been able to figure out nothing better with him. But they said I should have been an architect, an actor, or an attorney. That was what my aptitude was. And I tested higher than anybody that had ever applied to the school. But remember, it's a beautician school, so there were no Einsteins going there anyway. So,
yeah,
but anyway, then where the fog is. I left New Jersey for reasons I don't know. I had a tendency to make people do shit. I think I made somebody do something or something. Right. But all of a sudden I'm in New Orleans, and I love it down here. It's mad. Way down yonder in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's hot today.
Pete Fountain and my Uncle Wimpy were like brothers, man. Wow. My grandpa played drums in a Dixieland band and ran the French Quarter. Mm-hmm. Uncle Bill was in the Port Authority, head of the port. In other words, they was all crooks. And my great-great-grandpa was a riverboat pilot, captain, inspector. In other words, he could inspect the pilot, the steam, and hull. Now they're about to crook too, inspector.
Big.
But
like on the Natchez.
Those
gotcha.
there used to be 15, 30 boats parked out there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so down here, everybody was enchanting and interesting. I don't remember too much about Jersey, except I wanted to come down here.
Right.
The women smelled better.
Right. Have you ever thought about like moving somewhere else? Or
No. I've been in Oklahoma, Jefferson City, Missouri. That was exciting.
Right.
No, I'm never going anywhere but here.
Nice.
There's no reason to. Well, I've been up between here and Memphis for about 2 years, traveled up and down, seeing everything I didn't give a shit about.
Right. Yes.
A lot of people stumbling along, trying to have a good time, convincing themselves, well, we made it to 75 years old. You think we can get across the street out of the bus before we drop dead? Yeah, let's give it a try, Mom. It's just pitiful to see what's happening to people and their expectations of reality, and then they manifest themselves in reality and say, WTF, OMG.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. You're pretty spry for a 74-year-old. Like, how do you keep the health up? Or do you have any health issues?
I don't eat anything. All right.
So you fast?
I quit taking any kind of RX medicine about a year ago that they gave me. I don't take none of that crap. I don't eat meat now. I stopped eating meat about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
That is helping a lot.
Okay.
I started eating fruit, not vegetables. God made vegetables so we wouldn't eat the bastards. I hate vegetables. They could put a sweet potato, put them back in the ground. But oranges, apples, watermelon, that kind of stuff, and pasta, but no meat. Meat bad. Because I put some out in the sun.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel better. I've lost about 35 pounds since I stopped taking that medicine.
Yeah.
So what do? I guess keep moving and keep a positive attitude.
You do like a lot of fasting, it seems? Like, do you go?
I guess that's what I've been doing for years.
Gotcha.
And didn't recognize it as fasting.
Right.
But your body can do a lot of things to repair organs and stuff. But if you eat a lot, first it's got to make some shit.
Yeah, true. True.
The less you eat, the more it can repair stuff. So far it's fixed everything except for a couple.
Well, yeah, that's what I started doing intermittent fasting like 2 months ago. I've done it off and on for years.
How long?
Well, I've been doing it off and on for like 10 years, but I actually started doing it properly. Like it's either a 16-hour window, sometimes 20. Like last week when we recorded the podcast, I did it on 26 hours because they say it makes your brain smarter. Like your nerve cell stems start to like reproduce and you go into ketosis. Yeah, so you're basically more cognitive. And so I wanted to see what it'd be like doing a podcast like that.
I always go a couple of days without eating. When I say eating, maybe not very much. For a while, it was a bacon sandwich once a day. That went on. But bacon now, it's meat,
For sure.
But now I eat some grits or
why
something
you
like
quit the meat?
I just something, whatever told me to do, or other stuff told me don't eat the meat no more.
So did you feel like as your body changed?
Yeah.
So like your skin, because your skin looks pretty fucking good for a 74-year-old.
Well, I almost poisoned myself because of my stupid skin. In other words, I had the hair dye in my hair, got in a tub with the cuts from, I had like a hernia surgery. So, I was poisoned.
Oh, yeah, dude. I had one of those.
It was cool, man. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I've had the belly button and the sports one they call it. One's like inguinal. Yeah, I've had 2 of them.
But did you get in a water full of blue dye?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You did that while
during the water boil.
Oh, dude. You might be mutated right now,
every freaking day is an experience. I go to the city park, I see a turtle, he's got his neck sticking up, he wants to cross the street, so I decide I'm going to stop and help him, right? Yeah. Well, I look at him, he's fucking dead, all right?
Oh, wow.
But so I had to holler at him, and then I said, look, you dead turtles tuck their head, Oh, he said tucker, didn't he? Oh, we have to target again, no. But don't have a horse that identifies as a woman, believe me, because good luck with that tuck. But anyway, I drove to get back in the car, I'm locked out. So there would have been an ordinary ride through the park, turned into an experience. Of course, then I had to make a video,
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised at people that are happy with this color for some reason.
I think it looks good on you, man. I think it looks cool.
And the blue, and I interrupted myself. Yes, he did. Years ago meant dirty comedy. Like Red Fox, he'd do an hour on you washing your behind.
When I interviewed Glenn on episode 1, I had pink hair. So what does pink stand for? Yeah.
Pink, it just means a kind of feminine. It depends on who you ask.
Right.
That's what I was when I was in Hammond. Everything was pink.
Gotcha.
Living in the pink. Living in the pink.
Well, I think like, pink's the new color for a lot of guys. They say real men wear pink. I mean, it's just another color.
I'm trying to get a clear tattoo. I just want the pain.
Yeah, dude.
I don't want any evidence.
Okay, I'm actually going to get tatted up again by my guy like on the 21st.
Oh, I see that.
Shout out to Drew Stewart.
Drew?
Shout out. Black Pelican.
That's a neat name for a tattoo guy, Drew.
Yeah.
How'd you get there?
Call him,
he drew it.
Yeah. His I think his Instagram is Nola2Drew. I don't want to fuck it up, but yeah, I'll find out.
But for first sticking, I'd be jumping out the chair.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I can tell you why I don't get tattoos, because my dad was in a prison camp.
Oh, shit.
And they had a lady that would come around in a tank, a German general, and she would make the men strip naked. Whoever had a tattoo, she'd skin it off of them, tan it, and put it in her tank. So I used to tell that story all the time. But that's so I don't want no tattoo in case that one comes back, you know.
Right. Your dad was a part of that?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he was at the prison camp when they'd line him. He didn't have any tattoos. Yeah.
But so why would the Germans cut off the tattoo that they put
the
on?
woman, the general?
Yeah, but why would they cut it off?
They didn't put it on if he had, because she was twisted.
Well, no, no, I know that part, but didn't like the Germans put the tattoos on the Jews?
No, this is different. You're mixing up two things. The tattoos they put were the numbers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But who put that on?
I guess the Germans. Germans, yeah.
So why would they cut it off? Is what I'm asking.
Not the number. That's not the ones they cut off. They cut off the ones that the American anchor and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant they cut off the physical numbers. Okay.
No, a trophy to put in the tank.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You meant like if anybody was in service or something like that. Okay.
Anything to degrade numbers. America.
Yeah, they tried.
Of course, America's doing their own job of that right now. So.
Yeah.
But we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah, man. So what's next for you, man? We got a TikTok. We're about to wrap it up. What do you have to like say to folks out there, like a message tonight, as far
as pretty ladies, beautiful ladies with a future and a career, don't listen to a damn thing a guy tells you, because he's full of tutu, all right? Yeah. He just wants to pop, and that's it. You gotta admit to anything, agree to anything. So that's my advice. Be real careful, especially today. TikTok thinking, since you said that, there's all these beautiful girls, even if it's fake pictures.
Right.
All I need, my age.
Yeah.
But everybody wants somebody to find somebody. It's making it harder and easier now because there's so many to choose from. But now you don't know what's real. You know?
Correct.
I mean, if somebody tells me that they're interested in my profile, I saw the fact that your teeth come out at night, your hair's blue but falling out, you know what I mean? You had a broad process, and I'm interested in you.
Right.
No, you ain't.
Right.
There's something that you want that if I had it, I'd give it to you. Because there's something you got, but I don't want it anymore.
Oh, yeah. That's a good message. Well, Jude.
And for the men, shut up. Don't tell them anything.
Just guys, just gotta be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I can't wait to have you back. We are definitely going to help you out with the podcast. We're going to get your TikTok up and going. I mean, you got a lot of followers for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, but you know.
It's through large numbers. In other words, I know what I'm doing, but only in 15-second intervals. That's the problem, see?
Yeah.
And I know what I'm trying to do is to reach, especially the young girls, y'all, that are going to show you everything they got and give it to you if you want it. I think that's important today. It's not. Right. Sex without love is just something that makes you smell bad and wish it was over with. You know?
Shit.
Yeah, one without the other is nothing. And to find a combination of two is very hard. And the way to find it is not showing everybody, letting everybody have a taste of it till they find out who wants to eat the whole thing.
Right.
You know? How long, you say?
Yeah. How long you been married to your wife now?
30 years.
Nice.
She's a beautiful person.
The wife one and wife two, how many years each?
Wife one's still living out in Cantor.
No, and how many years you were married to them?
10, and 30.
So you're like a lifer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
Yeah. Expert level.
I learned how to fine tune it. I understand women. I just don't know which one.
Yeah, dude. Well, when your podcast, depending on when we started, you'll be able to have like at least 50 minutes to an hour for each one. And then once you get real big, you can have it as long as Joe Rogan, So you'll have a good platform. But I
need interacting. In other words, I need like what I did talk radio. That was great. I used to take the calls cold.
Yeah, well, they have different programs that we could use. I think Twitch allows that, Vimeo software. So there's like things that we're going to be doing in the future with the podcast to do stuff like that. So.
Twitch.
We'll show you all that, and
but if you told me that back in the 50s that I'd have been tweeting on Twitter,
dude,
they'd have thought I was some kind of twat.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jude, for coming on.
Thank you.
If you guys like the episode, hit the link, subscribe button at the bottom, and we'll see y'all next time. And y'all have a good night. Thank you.